What is up, Shooting Ninjas? My name is OJ, and welcome to another video right here in the village of PlayerEssence, where you can come get all your latest Nintendo Switch and gaming news. So we got a few topics for today, and we're going to be discussing the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus and how it's being delayed past the Nintendo Switch launch. So we originally thought that Nicalis was going to release this game at the launch of the Nintendo Switch, so March 3rd. However, due to issues way beyond our control, according to Nicalis, Tyrone Rodriguez that is, they've said that it's not going to be coming at the Nintendo Switch launch. The game, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, will instead be coming on March 17th. Now, there are some good things to come out of this. It looks like there will be a bonus available for the physical version of the game, where each buyer will receive a 20-page full-color instruction booklet with their purchase. This is on top of the 2 limited sticker sheets and the reversible alternate cover that come with the launch edition of the game. So there are some bonuses. An instruction booklet is pretty cool because a lot of the Nintendo Switch games don't have instruction booklets, and it's just a slight delay. Obviously, I'm looking at my calendar here, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-week delay from the looks of things. So yeah, it's going to be a 2-week delay, so that will be March 17th. And that is a Friday, 2 weeks after Nintendo Switch launches on March 3rd. So I don't really think that's that big of a deal. This is not like a massive game that people haven't played before, to where a delay like this might affect a lot of people. But I think some people are going to be upset about it, but I just don't think that it's necessarily something that's too big. I think there might be some issues with the actual cartridges of the game, or maybe even the shipping, so beyond their control, or maybe even Nintendo decided that they're going to push the game a little bit outwards because of all the different indie games from Tomorrow Corporation that are coming at launch that are digital right there. So maybe they felt that it might sell a little bit better if it was slotted a little bit later out. That definitely could be something that Nintendo is thinking about, because the Nintendo Switch, as far as when the games are coming out and the release lineup, it's actually very calculated. It's not all put in at one point, because that was one of the big downfalls of the Wii U, and Nintendo's trying to not repeat that. So they're really spacing out the games. Even the bigger to mid-sized indie games like this, or even a little bit higher grades such as Fast Racing RMX, are being spread out just a little bit. I'm pretty sure that game is already done and can be out at launch, but they want to make sure that each game has its own little time period. I want to make sure it's spaced out correctly, so I don't know if that's 100% the issue, but they're just saying due to things out of their control. So it could be that Nintendo did decide to move it, or it could be that there's some issues with the actual cartridges as far as the printing goes, or their instruction booklets, or whatever the case is. But either way, it's only a 2-week delay, so it's not too big of a deal. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Next, we're moving on to Soul Saga, and it looks like Soul Saga, the RPG that was announced 4 years ago on Kickstarter that looked really cool, is actually going to still come out on the Wii U. Now, many different indie games have been jumping ship to different systems, and particularly from jumping ship from Nintendo Wii U to Nintendo Switch, and it looks like Soul Saga isn't going to be following that trend, at least at this point. So here's what the developers had to say on the matter. A lot of fans are asking me to port Soul Saga to the Switch. I'm still planning to port Soul Saga to Wii U after PC version is complete, but unfortunately, I don't have any further information on the Switch right now. If anything evolves on either of those fronts, I'll be sure to make an update covering it, smiley face. So I would just say this, look, this developer, I mean, I know you've been working on it. I think this is Disaster Cake that works on this game. I was actually really interested in it back like 4 years ago or whatever, but they're just taking quite a bit of time to get this game out. So I'll just say this, Disaster Cake, you probably don't want to release this game on Wii U. That would be just a bad decision to release it on Wii U, especially since you're not doing that until after the PC version's done. There still is no solid or firm release date for the PC. There's an area, but still, I just don't think it's a good idea to release indie RPG on the Wii U in like late or mid 2017. I think it would do much better on the Switch, just because the Switch is going to be the platform people are going to be playing. A lot of people have traded in their Wii U's. A lot of people have packed them in. I mean, I just don't think it's a good idea to release this type of game. If you want to maximize sales, I would take the extra time and just move it over to the Nintendo Switch, and maybe even offer some of those Wii U Kickstarter backers something to where they can switch it over. Obviously, Yooka-Laylee and other games have done the same thing. So look, he can do it. It's obviously his game. Obviously, he probably knows a little bit better than I do when it comes to certain things and how easy it would be. I don't think he has a dev kit at all, so maybe that's why he's just really unsure and just playing it the safe route at this point. But I don't expect this game to come to Nintendo Wii U. Not at that point. That would be just like a sales like disaster. I mean, pardon the pun with disaster cake, but yeah, I just don't think he should do it, but we'll see what he actually ends up doing. Let's wait to see if he actually gets a Nintendo Switch dev kit. This type of game, you need a lot of time, and I can understand why it's taking so long to come out for an RPG, especially for a very small dev team. I think there's only a couple people on that team, so I can understand why it's taking so long. But yeah, finish the game up on PC, then I would probably say, since the PC to Nintendo Switch is the easier port, I would probably just scrap the Wii U version, but it is up to you. Obviously, there's backers and everything. We'll see what actually happens to this game on the Wii U. Alright, and moving on to the last bit of news here. The Nintendo account website does get an overhaul with some added features. So you'll be pleased to know that the Nintendo account website has recently been updated with a number of newly added features. We know that the Nintendo account will work just like Xbox Live or PSN at this point. Going forward, all your purchases will be tied to your account and not tied to your system. And the upcoming Nintendo Switch platform will, of course, take advantage of that. Here are two features you'll be most interested in hearing about when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. Friend Suggestions, a feature that allows you to easily connect with friends across multiple Nintendo account linked services by providing friend recommendations in one service based on your existing friends in another service. Thanks to this feature, you can easily find your friends in games you play, services you use, and consoles you own. You can search for specific services/games individually, Miitomo and Fire Emblem Heroes, for example. Naturally, disabling it doesn't remove friends you added via this feature, just the suggestions. There's also parental controls. We already know that the Nintendo Switch is going to get a dedicated smart device app for parental controls, but it looks like there will be another way to set up those controls via the Nintendo account website. This feature requires a child account that was introduced in the previous update. The parent control tab allows you to do the following: edit info for the child account, restrict spending on the Nintendo eShop, set up age-based purchase restrictions on the Nintendo eShop, edit various settings such as friend suggestions, see the above for more details, of course, and usage information. So pretty cool stuff there with the friend suggestions. I think it's a good way. Probably they're going to link social networks in there as well, so if you want to easily find someone that you're cool with on Twitter or on YouTube or whatever the case is, maybe they'll have an easy way of doing that, Instagram, whatever else Nintendo decides to do. But overall, the more features that they add to the Nintendo account system, the better. Hopefully we can access these things in a variety of ways, but overall it's good stuff. The more features, the better. I like the friend suggestions, and hopefully we get more, because the Nintendo Switch is launching next week, my ninjas, and it's one of those things where I think Nintendo's going to have a direct, or maybe even they're just going to let YouTubers and the press just talk about everything when it comes to online and all that. I know the embargoes are up, I think February 21st or February 23rd, something like that. Sometime this week, the embargoes are going to be up, so maybe they just let all of them talk about everything that you can do with the system. That might be as good as marketing as anything, is just letting all of them just go into it and show it off and let people know what's going on with the system as well. We have seen some things, but it's a very basic UI, and there's a lot of shared RAM for the actual games. The OS is taking up well less than, I think, a gigabyte of space, which is less than the Wii U dedicated for the OS, so there's a ton of space left over as far as RAM goes for games and optimizing those. So yeah, really quick booting up. A lot of games take like 10 seconds. I know Zelda, somewhere in that range, 10 to 20 seconds to boot up straight from the actual OS to the game, so that's good. I want to play games on my Nintendo Switch, so that's the biggest thing that needs to do well, was run games fast and get them up and going. And it's looking like the Nintendo Switch is going to deliver amazing games like Super Bomberman R and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, in addition to a blazing fast OS, some really cool friend features, and more. And of course, the big one, accounts. It's not tied to your system anymore, it's tied to your account. So good stuff all around there. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you ninjas for the next video. Peace.